Anybody else got the answer? Okay. So let's check. So again, this is the whole thing about applying that energy equation. So if this is projected from here, okay, then by the time it reaches here at a distance r, this is our initial velocity is greater than escape velocity. That means v will be greater than 0 as r tends to infinity. So apply that condition over here. You find out v when r is tending to infinity, and put the value of us that was given 1.25 times the escape velocity. So put the value of u. Now 1.25 is the same thing as 5 by 4. Yes. So use this formula. Okay, because r is tending to infinity, so this term becomes 0. So this is what we want to find out now, the v. So this is half into 25 by 16 into 2. So this is what we have to calculate now. So this will become 25 by 16 minus 1. It's half and d square. So v from here is becoming square root of 9 by 8. Okay, so we can write this as 3 by 2 1 2r. And write it like this. So we can write this as ठीक है. So it will become this. So that's how much now. 8,400 meters per second, or 8.4 kilometers per second. at r tending to infinity. So these are the kind of steps you have to do to work out this question fully. So good, couple of you got it correct. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so take it down from here. I'll show it the last few steps also. Okay, so have you finished with this, all of you? Okay, good. So let's continue ahead now. So this was about escape velocity, and last time we discussed about Kepler's laws. Yeah, Yuvraj not finished? Okay, just a minute. Okay, good. So now moving on to the next section of our physics study here. So we'll move on to work energy theorem. So the section of it is called work power and energy. Right. So we will start by the definition of work, which is quite different from the definition of work in normal language, or the everyday meaning of work, which all of you know. So you know the physics definition of work is very different to that. In physics, we define work as work done by a force, say F. Okay, as it, or you can say a force as it as act of S. Okay. So this is defined as the magnitude of force multiplied by the component of displacement along the direction of the force. This is how we define it. Okay, so work is defined as the magnitude of force and along the direction of the force. Okay, so luckily for us, we have done a bit of vector algebra, so we are familiar with this. Okay, so the idea here is that if, let us say, we are continuously applying a force like this on a body, but while we are applying the force, the body is moving in some way like this. Okay, so this is a constant force acting on a body, and while this is happening, the body is moving from the position A to, let's say, the position B. Okay, so this constant force acts from its initial point A to the final position B. Okay. So in that case, we can say that here the displacement of that body during this kind of thing, the displacement will become this vector. The vector joining the initial position with the final position. So this will become the displacement. Okay. So now the definition of the work done will become like this, that work done will become magnitude of force into magnitude of S times cos theta. Now we'll understand why it becomes this, because in that diagram you can see that if the displacement is this vector, so if the displacement was this vector, whereas the force was this vector, because the force was acting like this. So you understand, so even as the body was moving like this along some kind of strange path like this, it was moving, let's say, but this force was acting continuously on it. So while this force was acting, the displacement was this vector. But throughout the displacement, that force was continuously the same. So this was the displacement from the position A to the position B. So if the direction of the force with respect to the direction of the displacement made an angle theta, so here in this diagram you can see this angle is theta. Okay, then the component of displacement along the force, that will now become this quantity which I am showing next. So if we drop a perpendicular here, then this quantity now, this becomes, in the diagram as you can see, this becomes S cos theta. So this S cos theta is the component of the displacement along the direction of the force F. Okay, so our work done will be defined as what? It will be defined as magnitude of the force multiplied cos theta, or it is magnitude of force multiplied by magnitude of displacement into cos theta, or we can write it like F into S into cos theta. So then our definition of work done becomes like this, that the work done by a certain force is the magnitude of the force into magnitude of displacement into cosine of theta. Okay, where F is the magnitude of this force, S is the magnitude of the displacement, and theta is the angle between force F and displacement S. So this becomes the mathematical definition. So what we have written in words earlier, that work done is defined as magnitude of force multiplied by component displacement along the force. It reduces to the formula below, that it is F into S into cos theta. Okay, so just make a note of this now. So make a note of all these points, and then as we discuss with some numerical examples, this will become clear to you. Bhomik, please concentrate on what I am saying at that time. Yeah? You are just stuck on the same point, that show the definition time to write it down. Have some patience. Now I'm explaining something, try to understand that at that time. Otherwise, you'll miss all the points. This is not some class 6th, 7th. Yeah, you have now reached foundation IIT course. Okay, so hope the definition is clear to all of you now. Okay, so anybody has a doubt with this definition now? Work done by a force, how it is defined? Yes, very good. Yes, Yuvraj, you can ask doubts. Okay, calculus I will be teaching later anyway, but if you have studied yourself, you can ask me the doubts. I'll help you out with that. Okay, so let us do an example straight away to understand this concept of work done over here. So in this example now, what is happening is that body which is lying on a frictionless, sorry, on a rough surface, not a frictionless surface. So okay, this kind of a surface which is a rough surface. Okay, horizontal rough surface. So gravity is acting like this downwards. Okay, now in on this surface we have a block which is of mass, let us say 50 kilograms. Okay, and what we are doing is we are applying some force on it which is continuously acting like this. We are not applying the force horizontally, but we are pulling it with a force which is like this. It is at an angle of theta. So a constant force F such that the magnitude of the force is, let us say, 200 newtons, acts continuously at theta equal to 30 degrees from the horizontal, or let's make it different. Let's make it theta equal to 60 degrees. Okay. Now also the frictional force acting on the sliding body was measured to be of magnitude 80 newtons. Okay, so first of all, if the body starts from rest at t equal to 0, find the work done by each of the forces acting on it through a displacement of 20 meters. Okay. So let's analyze this question carefully. So what the question is saying, that somebody is applying a continuous force on this body. Some external agent is continuously applying a force at an angle of 60 degrees to the horizontal on this body, which is lying on a rough horizontal surface. So as the body starts sliding, it's also measured frictional force acting on the body is 80 newtons in magnitude. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to find the force. I mean, we have to find the this thing, work done by each of the forces. We have to find the work done by each of the forces. So there are a number of forces acting on the body. So we have to first find out how many forces are acting and what all those forces are, what their directions are, what their magnitudes are. And then we have to use this formula that work done by a certain force will be force into displacement into cos of the angle between them. So we have to apply this formula not just for this force F, but for all the various forces which are acting on the body. Okay. And second, at a displacement of 20 meters, and once we have found that speed, we have to also show that the net work done equals the change in its kinetic energy. Okay, where we'll use the formula kinetic energy is half mv square. So we'll analyze this question. Okay, so just get started on it. So start with the concept of free body diagram, like we discussed in Newton's laws, to understand what all forces are acting on the body. Two of them to already are given to you. There is this external force F, which is acting of magnitude 200 newtons at 60 degrees to the horizontal. But apart from that, there is also friction, which is given to you, which is 80 newtons acting. Now you have to think logically what should be the forces that are acting on the body. Hint is there is acceleration due to gravity. That means this gravitational force, it has a weight. And the other thing is it's lying on a surface. So that surface must be applying some kind of normal reaction. So once you figured out what all forces are acting on the body, next you have to calculate the first part, that is what is the work done by each of those forces. Okay, so how many forces in total are acting on the body? Yes, Adinath, that's correct. Frictional force. अच्छा, okay, okay. But frictional force will do negative work, huh? You have to understand one thing, Adinath. Frictional force will end up doing negative work because its direction is opposite. And rest of your answers are correct. Very good. Okay. So now think of the second part. Okay. If you those of you who've done the first part, just think about second part, how you will find the speed after 20 meters. Displacement of 20 meters. Okay. Now I'm working out the first part for everybody else. Okay. So in the first part, what is happening is, as far as forces are concerned, there are all these forces acting on the body. We are first of all pulling it with an external force. Okay. Now that force is of magnitude 200 newtons and is acting at an angle of 60 degrees with respect to the vertical. Okay. Now apart from that, there is obviously Earth's gravitational pull. So that will be a vertically downward force, and that will be mg. Now m is given to us as 50 kilograms. So that will be 5000 newtons, let's say. M is to given, but we'll take G as 10 meters per second square. M is 50 kilograms. That's the case. Okay. And then there'll be a frictional force acting. Now, what is happening? The body is going to accelerate like this, horizontally on the surface. So, how the frictional force will be acting? It will be acting opposite. It will be trying to decelerate the body. So, friction will be acting along the surface. This is the friction. And its magnitude is given to us as 80 newtons. So, because the body is, we know, accelerating along the horizontal direction, so we know friction. So frictional force will act opposite to velocity or acceleration. It basically opposes the slipping on the surface. No. So if the body has a tendency to move like this, then the friction acts on it backwards like this. So that is the idea. And of course, there is another force, which is the normal reaction. Top of all this, we have the normal reaction force, which the ground is applying on the body. So that's acting upwards like this, let's say n. Okay. Now the body is making a displacement. In which direction? It's making a displacement in the direction of the acceleration, horizontal direction like this. So as it makes a displacement of 20 meters like this, we can see that we can now calculate the work done by each of the forces. Work done by, so first the force F, the work done will be Fs sine 60. So 200 newtons multiplied by 20 meters multiplied by, sorry, cos, my mistake, not sine. So work done by this force F is becoming plus 2000 joules, because also we'll understand the unit of work done. Okay. So SI unit is joule. So 1 joule is equivalent to 1 Newton meter, like that. Okay. Then secondly, the work done by normal reaction. Okay. Work done by normal reaction will be zero. Why? Because normal reaction acts vertically like this, and the displacement is horizontal like this. So the angle between them is 90 degrees. So theta is equal to 90 degrees. So is 0. Same thing you will see for mg also. Likewise, you will see exactly the same logic. Mg acts vertically downwards. Okay. So it is perpendicular to displacement. As the body is moving, the weight is acting like this. So work done by mg will also be 0. So these two, friction and weight, are doing zero work here. Whereas now if you look at friction, now friction story is different and more interesting. The displacement is like this, but friction is acting opposite. Friction is acting at an angle of 180 degrees. So work done by friction will become minus F into S. So work done by friction will become minus of 80 newtons into 20 meters, minus 1600 newtons. ये work done हो गया. Okay. So we will learn at a later stage that theta is equal to 180 degrees means we take cos theta as minus 1. Okay. So work done by friction, which is friction into displacement into cos 180 degrees, becomes 80 Newton into 20 meters, but into minus 1. Okay. So this is the first part done. I'll just leave you with the diagram again. And from that, each of these calculations. Okay, now anybody got the velocity after the displacement of 20 meters? So hint for the second part, I'm just giving you a hint. You want to find out velocity at s is equal to 20 meters. You know is 0. So use, okay. But in this acceleration is what? You get this from Newton's second law, that net force is mass into acceleration. Yeah, so anybody got the acceleration? How much? Yeah, that's correct. No, no, wait a minute. 20 by, correct. 4 meters per second square is correct. Okay. So, correct. Now use that relation that V will become square root of 2 into A into S. 4 root 10 meters per second. Okay. Okay, now just come to the third part also and show that the kinetic energy will be equal to the net work done. If you add up the work done by all the forces, okay. Yeah, I'm solving, Bobby. Don't worry. Just giving you some hints to try and solve yourself. Anyway, so let's come to the last part. I mean, to the second part. So second part is basically you can treat it like a Newton's laws problem. You have seen that this force was 200 newtons and it's at an angle of 60 degrees. Rest there is normal reaction, weight, and there is friction. Okay, and the body is accelerating along this direction. So what you do is you take this as your x-axis and this as your y-axis, and first resolve the forces. So this force F will be resolved into F cos 60. Okay, so that will become 100 newtons, and y component which will be F sine theta, which will be 100 root 3 newtons. Okay, so now if you see all the forces acting on the body, there is Fx 100 newtons, there is Fy 100 root 3 newtons. Okay, there is normal reaction, there is friction which is 80 newtons given to us, and of course there is mg which is 500 newtons. But under the action of all these forces, what the body is doing, it's accelerating like this. So along the x-axis, our equation will become net force is equal to mass into acceleration. So net force will be Fx minus friction is this. So it is 100 minus 80 is equal to 50 E. So your acceleration, acha, so, so it's 20 by 50, sorry, so it is 2 by 5 or is 0.4 meters per second square, not 4 meters per second square. The mass is 50 kg, remember, it's not 5 kg. Okay, this is clear now, Adinath? Okay. Okay. So now next thing is once you got the acceleration, now next step will be use kinematics. Initial velocity is 0, so after displacement of s, the velocity will become square root of 2as. Okay, so once you got this acceleration, next step, initial velocity is 0. V we have to find out at a displacement of 20 meters. So use the relation V square is equal to U square plus 2s. So V square is becoming 0 plus 2 into 0.4 into 20. Okay. So V square is becoming 16. So V is becoming 4 meters per second at a displacement of 20 meters. Okay, you substitute this acceleration here. Okay. So that's the second part. Okay, so now you can also see that the kinetic energy, okay, so you can see that the final kinetic energy is this. Okay, so that is how much? 8 into 50, so 4000 joules. Okay, whereas the initial kinetic energy was 0 because the initial velocity was 0. Okay. So the change in kinetic energy, what we write as delta Ke, that is plus 4000 joules. The kinetic energy of the block has increased by 4000 joules. Now you can also see that the work done by the force F was how much? It was, we calculated, it was some, wait a minute. Have we done all the calculation correctly? Yeah. No, this is not coming correct. The value of kinetic energy. Okay, I'll just check the calculation once more. Just give me a moment. Okay. Yeah, so this is 400 joules. That's the difference. This 400 joules now. Okay. Now this was 2000 joules is correct. Okay. Work done by friction was minus 1600 joules, and work done by mg was 0. Work done by normal reaction was 0. So you can see now that the net work done, which is the sum of all these work dones, that is becoming plus 400 joules. Okay. So that is your third part. It is showing you that the net work done is equal to the change in kinetic energy. Yeah, Anshul, Punya, you can leave. Time is up for you, so you can leave. Bomik, you can also leave, no problem. If you have something urgent to do, leave the class, it's fine. Alright, rest of you have understood. So what this is finally proving for us, that the net work done is equal to the change in kinetic energy. Is the question clear, people? Adinath? Okay, so that's it for today, people. Okay. So next time we will pick up last part in short. Yeah. So what is happening? See, work done by F था plus 2000. Work done by friction कितना था minus 1600, और दोनों दूसरे कितने थे 0. So what is the net work done? The algebraic sum of all these. So the net work done is how much? It is 2000 minus 1600 plus 0 plus 0. So net work done is coming how much? Plus 400. And you already found out that the kinetic energy increased from 0 to how much? 400 joules. So the change in kinetic energy was 400 joules. The work done was 400 joules. So it is ensuring what we had discussed earlier, that the question you had to show that the net work done equals to the change in kinetic energy. You have to prove this. Is it clear now, Bhomik? Okay, so that's it for today's lecture, people. So next time we will be continuing ahead with work energy theorem. So in the meantime, like, finish the questions from the gravitation module, I mean gravitation chapter of your module, and if there are any doubts, just message me about it.